Hey, g'day guys, how you going? It's Justin Allen here with my Good Advice channel, here to give you good advice for a better future. Right, what I'm talking about today is how I got my first property in real estate in Australia, Victoria, in Cranbourne. I bought my first property with my brother, and my mum was a part ownership, and at the time they had a 14,000 government grant scheme, which me and my brother chose to use to buy the property, and that's how we got approval from the bank. And we it was my decision, like it was my idea to originally move out of my mum's place with my brother and try and get our own place. At the age of 23, my brother was a couple of years younger than me, and we wanted to move on to getting a house and move out from my mum. So basically I picked out a house in Cranbourne, and we paid $214,000 for it, and 7 years later I wanted to go my own way, and we sold it for $320,000. So it was a pretty good profit for the time. And then with the money we had, he basically had $80,000 to go his own way, and he had a girlfriend, and he had kids, so it was time to move on anyway. Through my eye, he was taking over the house anyway. And so basically that's how you can do it for people who are trying to get into the market. Just go part ownership with a friend or a brother, and if you have to, get a parent involved with the deposit, and they come a part ownership too. So really the property was spread out over several people. It was my brother, me, my mum, and the bank. And my brother had a loan, and I had a loan too. And my mum was very nice. When we sold the house, she just wanted her money back. She didn't ask for any interest or anything, so very, very nice of her to do that. But it was like my brother, if it was in his ways, we would have just stayed there. So I wanted to move on, so it did cause a bit. The worst part I found was, like, when you want to go your own way, I gave my brother a couple of years to buy me out and to get his shit together, and it just never happened. And I wanted to move on, and so it started to get a bit stressful. Like, it puts you off to ever do it again for that reason. But you look back, it was still worth it. He just wouldn't let me put the for sale sign out the front and go my own way, which was a bit annoying. It caused me a lot of stress, and that stress passed on at my job, and the stress built it up because it went over a couple of years. But you look back, and I did make a good profit. And since my mortgage was very small at the time, I actually paid a lot of extra into the loan. So when you only got a small loan, that's one of the good sides to it. You haven't borrowed a stupid amount of money where you can't afford to pay extra. But I think at the time I borrowed was $70,000. So it's not that much money when you think about it. And my brother, he didn't really pay any extra on the mortgage at the time. He was not working that much. So that's a very good strategy to get into your first house, is to get help from other people. But I think from day one you've really got to say, right, in 5 years time or whatever, we're going to sell it and go our own way. Just more or less, instead of renting a property and going nowhere, at least this way you can eventually get into the market. And when I worked out my cut, as I told you before, my brother's was $80,000, and when I got my cut, I got paid, I think it was about around $130,000 I got put into my bank account, and which I put towards my next property to go my own way. And I did some research on the internet, because it was a long time ago, it's 2018 now, and I bought the property back in with my brother in 2004, and back then we paid 214,000, and the house was only a couple years old. It was fairly new, and we sold it at 2012, so it's just under 8 years later. So we got a good price for it, 320. And I had a look. You looked up today in another 2018. It's gone up from 2012 to 2018. It has gone up to about 600 now. So we probably should have kept it, but you don't know at the time when you sell that the market's going to go up so much, and they put so much infrastructure down there. But it is one strategy how you can get your own house. Eventually you get reinvest that money that when you sell the house, and then go get your own house, and that's how you can get into the game. Because as houses keep going up and up, they're becoming unaffordable. You got to just get into the market, otherwise you keep saving 50 grand and then they're going up 50 grand, you're back where you were a year ago. So it is a very good idea to go partnerships with other people. You can always go with a friend. It doesn't have to be a brother or whatever. And that's basically how we did it. And I can even give you the address if you want to do your own research. It was 47 Trafalgar Way in Cranbourne East. I just had a look before. It's currently rented out for $380 per week, so they must have bought another house and moved on. Well, anyway, I'll wrap it up at that. Have a good day.